to record this meeting also. So far, I have completed the first section of why deforestation, and today I will be starting with the second section of this lesson, which is the rise of commercial forestry. We discussed about why deforestation, large-scale deforestation started in India, especially it began from the end of the 18th century and the 19th and 20th century. I would request all of you, I would request every one of you to be punctual, join the meeting 6 a.m. sharp. Please don't delay joining the meeting because it delays my session also. Please be on time. I have to admit everyone after, I begin the lesson. So please be on time. Okay. All right. Now, before we start with the second section on rise of commercial forestry, I would like to show you a video. Yes, I will do a quick recap. I will show you a quick recap video on the previous section on why deforestation happened in India. So are you all ready?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I am going to share my screen. Okay. And also be patient, Vedant, please switch off your video. Yes. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to play a video for all of you. Be attentive, and in case if there is any issue, any problem with the video, do not complain right away. Okay. We can discuss it later also after the video. Video is just for 3 minutes only. So please be patient and watch the video. Children, can you, is the screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone can, is screen is visible? Where you can see the globe?
Yes, ma'am.
Would the world be like if there were no trees? Forests form an important part of our ecosystem.
Is the sound audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Please watch the video. This is a recap video of the first section.
And are beneficial to us in various ways. They provide different useful things that we use in our everyday life and also remove carbon dioxide and add oxygen to the atmosphere. Irrespective of its uses, forests are disappearing at an alarming rate. Did you know that during the period of industrialization, 13.9 million square kilometers of forest was cleared for industrial uses, cultivation, pastures, and fuel wood? In this module, let us learn about the factors that lead to deforestation during the British rule in India. Deforestation started many hundreds of years ago. As population increased and the demand for food rose, land had to be cleared for cultivation, settlement, and pasture. This was the start of deforestation. Major deforestation in India occurred during the British rule between the years 1880 and 1920. The British grew many cash crops in India, like indigo, cotton, jute, and sugar, to increase revenue. As the demand for these products increased, the need for land also increased. The net result was that forests were cleared for cultivation. Taxes were also levied on this land, which was additional revenue for the British. The British needed durable timber to build ships for the Royal Navy. Once again, India's huge expanse of forests was the solution to their problem. Large amounts of timber from sal and teak forests were exported to build the large and magnificent ships of the Royal Navy of England. With the advent of railways, wood was needed as fuel to run locomotives and also to lay railway lines sleepers that were essential to hold the tracks together. In addition to this, large areas of forests were cleared to make way for tea and coffee plantations to meet Europe's growing need for these goods. Apart from the British, the Adivasis and the peasants were also largely responsible for the depletion of forests due to their dependence on them for fodder, leaves and fuel. Thus, due to various reasons, the forest cover in India is less than half of what it was 400 years ago. Global warming is just one of the several harmful impacts of deforestation. In addition to this, the water cycle gets disturbed, soil erodes, and several species of plants and animals become extinct. It also has an impact on the native dwellers of forests as they become homeless. Now that we have understood the adverse effects of deforestation, we must wake up and take efforts to prevent it.
Okay, class. So now this was a quick recap of the first section of which I have already explained to you about why deforestation happened in India. So now I will shoot some questions, and I want some students to answer my questions on the first section quickly. Okay? Yes? Shall I ask some questions? Okay.
Ma'am.
Advait.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Advait, please answer this question. What were the reasons why deforestation happened in India? There were three things I told you. What were the three reasons of deforestation in India?
Ma'am, the Britishers needed timber for their ships.
Okay. What else? I gave you some assignment also, if you remember. You have just watched the video also.
Ma'am, they needed for the railways.
For the railways, for the ships, mainly one of the reason is colonialism.
Tea, coffee plant.
Cash crops.
Yes,
Cash crops,
cash
yes.
crops. But there were three main reasons. One was population growth. When population grows, then they require
Colonization.
forests. Yes.
Colonization.
Second, yeah.
Industrialization.
Colonization.
Industrialization and colonization. The first thing is population growth. Second is industrialization. We already know in the 18th century, industrial revolution happened in Europe that led to mass production of goods, and then again they started looking for markets all over the world and different locations from where they could bring raw material and they could sell their finished goods. I explained this to you last time. Also, the third reason is colonialism. Once the Britishers or any other European countries, they acquired countries as colonies, they started to exploit them, especially the resources, all kinds of resources in those countries. Okay, and one of those resources are the forest resources. So why they needed the forests in these countries? Why? Because in Europe itself, you already know, I have explained this, the production of oak trees, it started degrading. The number of trees decreased. I explained this to you last time. Why? Because too many ships were being built. So they needed ships for their voyages. And also there was a development of railways. Who is that? I can hear somebody speaking here. Please, I don't want any background noise. Please mute your mic. How many times do I have to tell you, please mute your mic? Please don't create any distraction. Okay? All right. Triveni is joining now. Why are you so late? Please be punctual for your class. You are 10 minutes late for this class, Triveni. All right. So now this was what we discussed in the last class. We also learned about how many trees were being cut. We calculated roughly, we took out and we calculated an approximate of how many sal trees were required to be cut to build a 1 mile track of
400.
railway line. Yes. And
400.
so we learned one more thing was about the plantations. Gradually, the Britishers started clearing forests, and to grow cash crops, they converted these forests into plantations. What are plantations? The plantations are where they are kind of special crops which have a commercial purpose. So the Britishers they started excuse me. Yeah, so they started these increasing the plantations in our country. Okay, so now these were the main things we learned in the previous section, and now we begin with our new section today, that is rise of commercial forestry. Okay, now I'm going to share the screen of my presentation today. Let me know if it is visible to every one of you.
It's too blur.
Ma'am, it is looking
Ma'am,
very
it is
blur.
blur.
The slide
Yes,
is
Gray
not
box
visible.
is
Ma'am, one small square. Yeah, it went.
Okay, I'll stop share and I'll
And the
share it
quality
again.
is very bad.
Wait. I'll share it again. Be patient. You must be patient. Is it visible now?
Ma'am, it's the same.
Yes, ma'am.
It's same.
History lesson
it
4.
is blur.
Ma'am,
History
it's
lesson 4 is visible.
it's blurred.
Can you see the
Ma'am,
screen
it
Ma'am,
or
only
not?
big
clear.
letters are visible. That too not proper.
Okay. I am stopping the share. Now can you see the screen? Dhaval's name is visible. Yeah? A black screen is visible
No,
or
ma'am.
not?
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
screen is only
Yes,
no.
ma'am.
Yes, because I've stopped the share and now I'm sharing again. Okay? Wait.
Okay, ma'am.
Now is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, it went.
No, ma'am, it went.
Okay, wait. Now is it visible? All my slides, can you see them?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Our section
Yes, ma'am.
of commercial forestry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now, before we start this section, I have a question for all of you. Okay, please listen to this question very carefully. If you were the government of India in 1862, or we can say 19th century, and responsible for supplying the railways with sleepers and fuel on such a large scale, what were the steps you would have taken? Anybody can answer. See, you have already arrived as a colonist in a country, okay, and you want to make the most of the profit from that country. Now you realize that that you need the forest as some kind of resources to provide you fuel or any other purpose. So what is it that you'd like to do if you are the government in the 19th century? What would you do if you have to provide all these things? Yeah.
We would build a railway station near the resources so that we could easily access the resources.
I don't think that answers the question. It just having all the railway stations near the forest will not suffice, because you need railway lines everywhere in the entire country, because you need to transport the goods and services everywhere. Yes. Anything else?
Ma'am, we will convert the trains into steam engines.
Okay. No, that's what the steam engines they had
Ma'am,
started. The
that
railways had
sleepers.
begun. Rather,
Ma'am, the
we
sleepers
find a
which got.
substitute. We can try and find a substitute for the sleepers, because we are cutting
Yes.
so many trees for making the sleepers to spread the railway lines. Also for fuel on such a large scale we need to provide. So now the same question was in front of the Britishers also. They realized that gradually, just like in Europe it was happening, that oak trees were decreasing. So similar things started happening here also in India. Mass deforestation was happening because they required large number of timbers, durable wood, for their building their ships and railway tracks. So again this problem was arising, and they started realizing that now again the forest will, if we cut too many trees, what will happen in the next 10 to 20 years when they require more trees? So this was a question which the government was having at that time. So as a consequence, the British wanted to restrict the local people from using the forest due to reckless felling of trees by local people and traders. Why? The idea was not about conservation of forests. The idea was something else. They wanted to manage the forests in such a manner that they only grow those kind of trees and crops which have a commercial use. You already know, children, that in the forest, various varieties of trees and plants grow. But then here, the idea of the Britishers was to earn more and more profit. So now the British had a new idea. What they did was they appointed a German expert, and his name was Dietrich Brandis, as the first Inspector General of Forests in India in the year 1864, who remained in the Imperial Forestry Service till 1883. Okay, Brandis is also considered the father of tropical forestry and as the father of scientific forest. After his retirement, he wrote a scholarly monumental book, and his book was known as Indian Trees, and which was published in 1906. The reason why, as I have again explained you, the British wanted to manage the forests in such a manner that local people are prohibited from using the forest or cutting trees or taking any products from the forest, so that they can utilize the forest for their own benefits. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll move on to the next slide. Why they wanted to do it? Introduction of Science of Conservation by Brandis. So Dietrich Brandis, who was the first Inspector General of Forests in India of the Forest Service Department, he introduced something known as Science of Conservation. But why he wanted to introduce that? And what was the purpose? What was the reason behind introducing the Science of Conservation for forests? Was it really conservation of forests, or was there some other idea or some motive, some other reason behind it? So the proper forest management system based on science of conservation was required to train local people for preserving forests. What was the science all about? Okay. New rules. I will answer this question in the upcoming slides. How the people were trained to preserve the forest and how it is going to help the forests. New rules were to be introduced for preserving the forests. Felling of trees and grazing had to be restricted so that forests, trees can be preserved for timber production. Laws and punishment against felling of trees was also introduced, and Indian Forest Act came into being in first time in India in the year 1865 after setting up the Indian Forest Service in 1864. So children, this is the same year when Dietrich Brandis was appointed as the Inspector General of Forests in India. So after his coming to India, Indian Forest Service was also introduced in 1864, and 1865, the first Indian Forest Act came into being. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll continue with what I was explaining here. Also, along with the Indian Forest Service, in the year 1906, the same year when Brandis's book was released, Indian Trees, the Imperial Forest Research Institute was also set up in Dehradun. What was the reason behind setting up this research institute was to teach scientific forestry. And according to present day ecologists and scientists, this scientific forestry was not scientific at all. The idea was not to conserve the forest or preserve the forest. The idea was to do research, kind of research on various varieties of plants and species of trees to find out how many of them are useful from the commercial point of view. As it is explained in this slide here, what is scientific forestry? A system of cutting trees controlled by the forest department in which old trees are cut and new ones are planted. Yes, is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please focus here because I'm going to ask you a very, very important
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
So now I have a question for you. What is the difference between natural vegetation that you find in the forests and scientific forestry? Whatever you have understood so far, can you please explain what is the difference here? You can look at these two pictures.
Ma'am, natural vegetation is by the nature itself. Means it grows on its own. No human has done it. but in scientific they have designed it specifically.
Yeah, human intervention is there in scientific forestry, just like we intervene in cultivation. Very good. Who answered this? Very good. Okay, beta. So when we talk about, yeah, very good. Okay, so when we talk about the forest, beta, it's mainly natural vegetation. In your 7th and 8th standard, elaborately you have learned about the various types of forest. There are around 10 to 12 different types of forests all across the world. And let me tell you, children, this is natural vegetation, something which occurs naturally. The species of plants, trees, wildlife that has appeared on the earth naturally. There is no human intervention. Okay, but now when we talk about scientific forestry, there is completely human intervention in it. So that was the reason why in today's world, the ecologists and the scientists, they regarded the scientific forestry as propagated by Dietrich Brandis as not scientific at all. Why? Because when they introduced the scientific forestry, there were many other species, varieties of plants and trees, they were cut. So which means there were many other species of plants and trees which are now completely extinct because of the British rule. Because they mainly wanted to focus on the commercial crops, commercial plantations. So this led to the extinction of not only the various varieties of plants and trees, but also it led to the extinction of various varieties of insects, animals, and various other species of wildlife. Okay, I hope this is clear to you how the British propaganda of earning more and more profit in the colonies affected the environment all across the world. Not only the British, but the other Europeans in whose countries the Industrial Revolution happened, and whenever they acquired colonies in Africa, Asia, and many other parts of the world, they have always intervened in the the resources, utilizing the resources for the maximum benefit for their own selfish interests, and which has affected ecology, the environment also. And in the last section of the video today also, you already know how global warming had a serious impact on the environment. And now in the present times, you can see the corona effect. We already know we are staying in a lockdown right now, and we don't have a vaccine for corona. So this is a nature's way to respond to what we have done to the environment. And now we are suffering. We have to pay back of what we have done to the environment. Okay, I hope this part is clear to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, here, this is one. This is figure 9 example. The screen is visible to all of you. The screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now here, there's one Isle of managed poplar forest in Tuscany, Italy. You can see that. Yeah, बेटा ऐसे फॉरेस्ट में इस तरह से कभी भी पेड़ नहीं होते. अगर आप प्रॉपर जंगल में जाएंगे, उसमें कोई भी पेड़ कहीं पे भी उगते हैं. But now when the plantation and scientific forestry was introduced by the British, they grew one specific variety of trees. Here, this is the poplar forest. Poplar forest मतलब यहाँ पे जो और पेड़ रहे होंगे उनको सबको साफ करके सिर्फ poplar trees को एक लाइन में उगाया गया है. Yes.
Yes. What does aisles mean?
Aisle mean in an aisle, just like in a row. That's called aisle. One aisle of managed. Okay. You can see they are in a proper rows. In a forest, have you ever seen a forest like this? No, a real forest does not look like this. Here it is a planned, a managed forest. That's why it's said, it is mentioned here, one aisle of managed poplar forest. Poplar means here these are all poplar trees. Why they want the poplar trees? This is an example of the managed forest in Italy. So it's not only in India, but all across the world, this kind of plantation of certain trees has happened. One variety of tree, because the wood of that particular tree has some commercial purpose. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. Now here again we have another example of Deodar plantation in Kangra. This is from Indian Forest Record number 15 in 1933. Same way, the Deodar trees are also have some commercial purpose again. Okay. Now we have the Imperial Forest School, Dehradun here. This is a picture of the Imperial Forest School, which was started in the year 1906. Okay, where research used to happen to find out about the various varieties of trees and plants which are of use for commercial purpose. Okay, why did they feel so? Beta, we are running out of time and we may get disconnected. So in case the meeting gets disconnected, then we will continue from where we left off in tomorrow's class. Okay. So why did they feel so? In many Indian natural forests, many varieties of trees were cut down, and one type of tree was planted in straight rows. They were called plantations. I've already explained this. The forest officials surveyed the forests, estimated areas, and made plans for forest management. Okay, this is what the Imperial Forest Institute, Dehradun, used to do. They planned how much of forest land was to be cleared and replanted so that it was ready to be cut again. Now, what was the change in the forest laws? Okay, now if the first act of Forest Act was passed in which year? Anybody answer? First Forest Act.
1865.
1865. Yeah, yes, Brian. It is 1865. Yeah. In 1865, the first Forest Act was passed, but now there were amendments. And after it amended twice in the year 1878 and 1927. Okay. Now, in 1878, the forests were mainly divided into three categories: reserve forests, protected forests, and village forests. Now, in these three types of forests, in the reserve forest, entry into reserve forests was completely prohibited, which means the reserve forests were considered as the best kind of forests. And the villagers and the tribals and the local people, the local forest dwellers, were only allowed to enter into the village forests and the protected forests for their everyday needs. For example, fuel or wood for their house building or any other purposes, because you already know the tribals are completely dependent on the forests for their occupation, everyday living also. Okay. Reserve forests were considered as the best, and villagers' entry to these forests was prohibited, and they could not take anything from these forests. They were allowed only in protected or village forests for taking wood for house building and fuel. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have completed the first section of the main second section of the rise of commercial forestry, and in a couple of minutes this meeting will end also. So I request you all to please complete all your assignments on time, children. And next week,
Ma'am, so no need to reconnect.
can you please repeat?
Ma'am, so no need to reconnect.
No need to reconnect because our lecture is of 40 minutes and I guess in another 5 minutes it will end. So don't worry, tomorrow also we have a class. Okay. And whoever is scribbling on the screen, it's not very difficult for me to find out who's doing it. Okay. So better you don't scribble anything here. Okay. I'll just find out who's scribbling on the screen.
Ma'am, do we have to write all the answers which you gave?
Yes, beta, and I want you to learn the question answers also. Objectives आप practice कर लो. आपका एक 30 minutes का टेस्ट लेना है मुझे, आपका भी और 9th A का भी. 9th A का second section complete हो चुका है, and your second section will be finished by Sunday. Okay. All right. So now we come to the second subsection of the rise of commercial forestry. That is, how were the lives of people affected? Okay. Forest dwellers and villagers. See, the people who were living in these forest dwellers and villagers are people who were living in these forests since centuries. Okay, it was their home. So they needed these forests not only as a resource for fulfilling their basic everyday needs, but also they use it as a means of livelihood and occupation. They collect nature produce such as dry and fallen wood for fuel, small timber, bamboos, nuts, berries, bones, hides, skins, etc. as a source of income. They needed forests for herbs, fuel, fodder, leaves, roots, fruits, tubers for food, medicines, making agricultural implements like yokes and plows for conducting shifting cultivation, or you already know as jhum cultivation, bamboo for fences, baskets, and making umbrellas, oil from the seeds of various flowers. All that the forest dwellers were completely dependent upon the forests. So forests were their homeland. Okay. Now we come to the next screen. Okay. Yeah, here you can you see this picture, children? Is this picture visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Is this picture visible to everyone? So you can hear in this picture, you can see how
Ma'am,
the
now no.
forest.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it is not visible.
Okay, wait.
Ma'am, now it is visible.
Yeah, now
Yes,
it is visible.
Yes, is this picture visible to you? Om Jagtap, please to switch off your video. Okay. Here.
Yes, ma'am.
These are the uses of forest by the forest dwellers for medicinal purposes, handicrafts, fodder, timber, firewood.
Ma'am, can
Other
you
uses.
increase the size?
Okay, let me try, because whenever I'm increasing the size, you are unable to see. Let me
Brian,
see.
just double tap on the screen.
Double tap on the screen. Yeah, can you see now?
Ma'am, on the slideshow.
This is the
Ma'am,
slideshow.
I'm telling slideshow, ma'am.
Yeah, this
Slideshow.
is the slideshow. I started the slideshow only. Here.
Yes, ma'am, now it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the various uses of the forest by the forest dwellers. It's not only that, religious ceremonies also. And also, they also work towards it was their home. So they did, various things for protection of the soil and growing the trees again. What was the main thing they used to do was shifting cultivation. You already know why they used to leave the land fallow for so many years, 7-8 years, so that the trees grow on these areas again. Yes, so we already know about all this. In the previous class also we have studied about this. On the contrary, see, we have just understood what the tribals and the forest dwellers, what was their idea and why the forests were important from them. But when we look from the point of view of the forest department or the British government, why they needed the forest? They needed the forest for specific purposes, for trees, which were suitable for building ships and railways. And for this purpose, they wanted to grow more and more number of sal and teak trees. Also, particular species like teak and sal were promoted and others were cut. As I explained you when I was discussing about scientific forestry, that if they wanted if there was a more requirement of any commercial tree or plant, so they will cut off the other varieties of trees and plants, and they will only make a plantation of teak or sal tree. If we take an example here. So I hope this much is clear to everyone. Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now here, this is figure 12, collecting mahua from forest. There are these tribal women. They are collecting the mahua flower from the forest. These flowers actually, do you know what is the purpose of these mahua flowers from the trees? What is it used for? Anybody?
No.
The mahua flowers, the seeds of the mahua flowers is actually for making the everyday cooking oil. So as you can see, this is one example how the forest dwellers were completely dependent upon the forests. Here you can see in this picture, there are these ladies, women, they're trying, they are drying the tendu leaves, tej patta. It is a spice. You already know about this spice. It is there in every